What is going on, guys? Blink here, back with a new guide. So in this guide we'll be explaining a few smart ways of fighting. That way you can avoid taking damage and win the fight. Also, the V-Bucks giveaway is still going on, so make sure to visit the link in the description to enter. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, as I post an Amazon gift card code in the comments every time I upload. By turning on notifications, you'll have a way better chance of getting here first and redeeming that code. Anyways guys, let's get to this guide. So this example has a few tips inside it. The first tip is to pay attention to player positioning. So this player built up a little, and as you guys know, I like to usually have stairs in front of my opponent, depending on the situation. Now, after this player built up, he should have went one story higher. That way he could have built a wall and a staircase in front of him. So if I tried shooting at his wall, he still would have had that support from the stairs, and easily could have peeked me as I was shooting at his materials. In a close range situation, you'll always want to have that wall and stairs in front of your opponent. That way you avoid taking damage and have more time to peek over. Now, he tried peeking me with just that one wall. What I did was spray right through the wall as it was freshly built, and it's his only line of support. The result is him taking a lot of damage, which means he's gonna have to stop shooting and rebuild his wall if he wants to avoid taking any more damage. Now, I did miss my first 10 AR shots, which did result in me taking a little bit of damage too, but that's okay. As long as you're hitting your shots, you'll be fine. We'll continue this example as it's got a few more tips to help you improve. Now, I got shot by another opponent, and I tried baiting him with the fake stair push. I was hoping for him to peek his head out and shoot at my stairs. I'd then be able to peek from my right for a quick hunting rifle shot. This is a bit tricky to do, but it's a super great bait tactic if your opponent peeks out. So he never peeked out, and I went for the push on him. I was able to hit him down to low HP, and here's one more great tip. If you aren't sure you can take fall damage from the height you're at, then place a staircase down as you fall. If you time it right, you'll land on the top of your stairs every time. I love using this trick to drop down super quickly instead of needing to maybe go around to get down a little safer. Saves me time and lets me keep the pressure onto my opponent. So let's continue, as there is one more tip in this example. So this tip is about jump padders. Say you've just finished fighting and someone decided to jump onto you. Well, don't stay at the bottom. Get to the top of your material structure as soon as you can. This now means your opponent will either land on the same level as you or land a little short if he knows you're up top, which means you've both either got a fair fight or you've got the high ground advantage. So this player ended up landing behind me as I built up. My floor edit never triggered, so I ended up taking some damage. I still had plenty of time to close off my floor, which means everything would have worked out. Now, the edit didn't trigger, and I continued to build above my opponent. Hit him with a few shotgun shots and kept the pressure on him as he tried to get away. So these were just a few quick examples on helping out your gameplay. Now, I want to quickly get into a few editing scenarios. So, I was fighting a player in the distance and made sure to take a quick peek around Retail Row. The storm was coming in and the safe zone is basically around me, so you gotta watch out because you don't want to get backstabbed. Now, there was a player still in Retail Row, and I went for an edit peek for a few reasons. I avoided my original player I was fighting to be able to shoot me in the back, as I would have been exposed by peeking over the porta fort. Now, I could have built walls behind me to avoid that, but I'm potentially letting this player know I'm watching him, which means he'll be much more careful when pushing. So to avoid all of that, I edited the far two squares of the porta fort. That way I avoid breaking the edit and falling in the process. Now, also remember guys, that your opponents cannot see your edit. All they see is the same wall that's been there the whole time. You guys basically have wall hacks when using the edit peek. So before peeking out in some scenarios, just think if an edit peek would be a much safer option for you. I also had my crosshair pre-lined up on this player just so I have an easier time readjusting my shot. Confirmed the edit as he got pretty close and started taking shots. He also tried building up with one staircase and no walls. And as you guys know, you always want to build with a wall in front of every staircase, as it makes it harder for me to collapse a structure. But because he didn't, it gave me an easier angle to just shoot at his stairs, resulting in a quick elimination. After that elimination, you guys can see I utilized the stair drop method as I fell. It saves me just in case I take a few ticks of health off the jump. Now, one more quick tip about the entry peek in most fights. If you have a sniper, go for the peek with that first, as you could potentially do some critical damage before pulling out your AR. After taking the shot, pull out your AR right away. The speed it takes you to pull out that AR doesn't make much of a difference between that snipe. So if you're alright with sniping, then try it out. Get comfortable with utilizing these two weapons when peeking. If you get good at it, then that first snipe will do so much damage and instantly puts your opponent into a really bad situation. So I want to get into one more editing example. There's a player right across from me in his fort, and there's also a player running into the zone behind me. Now, I never wanted to let the player inside the fort know I wasn't watching him. He knows I was inside my fort, and I knew he was inside his. We never took shots at each other yet, and I wanted to keep it that way and avoid exposing my back to him. So what I did was use the edit function to figure out where this opponent was. Found him inside the barn opening a chest. The angle was perfect for me to try to take a shot. Waited for the right moment and got the elimination off. He never knew it was coming, and once again, he can't see me looking through my wall. It's just a great way of catching players off in bad positionings. Let's quickly recap everything we've talked about in this guide. Spot for bad structure positioning, as you'll make your opponent vulnerable without him even knowing before it's too late. Use that fake stair push method to see if you can bait your opponent out. Also, remember that stair dropping method of saving yourself from fall damage. If you get jump padded on, then try getting right back up to the high ground. That way your opponent has no advantage over you. Use the edit peeking to your advantage. Think about the situation you're in and see if you can keep yourself safer by edit peeking. Well guys, that's it for this guide. Hopefully I've helped some people out, and a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated as it does help me out a lot. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you on the next one.